Hello there, and welcome back to the channel. I'm really depressed now because one of my favorite shows just ended its second season, and we have to wait another year for the next season. I'm gonna go cry now. But being serious here, I do want to be a bit controversial for a minute here. Because while I think this season was really good, it isn't as good as season 1. Spoilers ahead for Invincible season 2. Anyways, there's really only one reason it isn't as good as season 1, and it's because there's no main villain. Now, I understand Angstrom Levy is technically the main villain of the season, but it didn't really feel all that deserved, because we've only seen him for really 2 episodes, including the finale. And no, I don't count his cameo appearances in a couple of the prior episodes. There wasn't really any emotional connection between Mark and Levy, and the stuff that was there was a bit shoehorned. We see Levy experience evil versions of Invincible across the multiverse in the finale. That should have been done earlier so we can actually connect with Levy's mission. I think he was set up to be a really interesting character, one that challenges who Mark is, given the fact he's evil in almost every other universe. But unfortunately, he kind of becomes flat just because he didn't have enough screen time. So while the final fight was awesome and Mark's character development was really good, it feels a little anticlimactic because these two have barely interacted with each other. Omni-Man's final battle with Invincible is so emotional because we've seen how much Mark looks up to his dad. The reveal that Omni-Man was the villain was festering for the entire season. Everything built up to that moment.
You want to die for this planet? Fine! What's 17 more years? I can always start again. Make another kid.
Here, Levy really just feels like the villain of the week. I should really feel the weight of Mark killing someone, especially someone who, in their eyes, was just trying to do the right thing. But I was kind of just like, oof, that looked like that hurt. I understand that the point of Mark's character this season is balancing his life and controlling his anger and all that, but I never truly felt that. And I think this issue of no main villain bled into the rest of the season, because things seemed a bit aimless throughout. Look, we all know the Viltrumites are like the final boss, but Mark and really Earth didn't deal with them too much. That was more Alan's storyline. The Villain of the Week format worked really well last season because it was supplementary to the overarching narrative. That being Mark becoming invincible and the reveal that Omni-Man is evil. Here, I'm not really sure what the overall story is other than Mark finding balance, which is a really good theme, no doubt, but that's not a story per se. So rather than the Villains of the Week helping drive the narrative, they sort of feel like a bunch of side quests. And they had a ton of options for main villains this season. Angstrom, of course, the Sequids, the Lizard League, another Viltrumite, that random Egyptian spirit that barely appeared this season. I think sticking with one of those and having them interact with Mark a lot more would have made this season on par, if not better than last season. Because there's a lot of great stuff in this season. The scene with Rick at the edge of the building was really good. The way his journey intersected with Donald's was amazing. As always, every scene with Mark and his mom steals the show. Alan is a goated character, and his stuff with the Viltrumites was honestly the best stuff about this season. The fight between Levy and Invincible was awesome. It really reminds me of Ultron versus the Watcher, another fight scene I love. And as much as I hated Amber last season, she really got an upgrade. Even though they really should have broken up in season 1, I liked the development Amber and Mark went through. Now, can you please get with Eve? We've known you two were endgame since episode 1. Let's get it over with, guys. Overall, it was still a great season with great development from our characters, but it really needed everything to be tied together somehow. That would have really sold it for me. Hopefully this was a small setback, and moving forward we have nothing but amazing stories. Oh, and if you're going to say, well, this is how it was in the comics, but please stop. I've gotten pretty tired of that argument recently. Like, just because it's from the comics doesn't mean it's good. Oh, Falcon became Captain America in the comics, so he obviously had to become Cap in the MCU. There were zero indications he would become Captain America before Endgame. So, him getting the shield kind of just felt forced. Oh, Palpatine came back in Legends, so it's fine he came back in The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, well, Palpatine coming back so soon ruins Return of the Jedi in any way, no matter how good or bad the execution. But I'm going on a rant here. Let me know what your thoughts on this season are, and if I'm just crazy for thinking it wasn't as neat as season 1. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.